Okay, first and foremost, I want to say I take full responsibility for not listening to my gut. I should listen to my gut when prices were fluctuating so much and the market was completely volatile. I'm not saying it's a stock market, but the real estate market is pretty volatile depending on the time and what's happening in the economy, what's happening with the job report, what's happening in world events. All these are factors that take place when pricing a home. And sometimes it's hard to determine with any degree of accuracy.
Funnily enough, I was just talking to my friend about that. Our speedometer's melted, and as a result, it's very hard to say with any degree of accuracy
exactly what a fair price would be. That's why right now I'm telling you guys, if you're looking to buy a home, here's my tip. If you're looking to buy a home, if you are a home buyer and looking to buy a home right now, have your agent pull comparables one more time just before you put that offer on paper. Because before you do that, if you see there's any fluctuations in price or what the market is doing or in interest rates, all this is going to matter. And if you do this, if you pull those comparables just before you actually write the offer, I think you'll be in a much better position to actually get your offer accepted. And that's what I learned from my listing here. I was actually representing the seller. This is a listing, but if I knew what buyers were doing, if I actually calculated a little bit more specifically, how that worked, I probably would have sold it a little bit faster and got maybe a little bit of a better price. We got a fair price. I mean, we got a great price actually, but I had to pull teeth to get it. A ton of negotiations, which could have been avoided. So it's a beautiful home. In fact, at the end of the video, I'll show you around in just a second. But here's what I learned. With interest rates fluctuating, between 7% or not fluctuating, let's just say hovering around 7%, sometimes it's a little more, sometimes a little bit less, and there aren't as many buyers. That's even though I had an open house, I had people show up here for open house. When I picked up the listing, I put the lock on the door and it tells me how many people actually come through here. And when I first put on the market, I had like 7, maybe 8 agents the first day, about 5 the second day, 4 the third, and every day that went by, I was getting fewer and fewer buyers. And that's because there's only so many buyers with these type of interest rates that can actually afford a house. And when they come through here, even though it's a beautiful home, like I said, I'll run you through a little tour in a minute. This is what they do. Oh, this is a nice house. Oh, look, there's another house down the corner, shiny. And just go over that house. And there's another house over here, another house over here. There's more inventory now in the market too. So when you put the inventory along with, the prices, along with how long they've been on the market, buyers are they're going to take their time, and they're going to take their time and look around. And I priced this at the time. I thought it was a fair price because what I did was I accounted for all the special features. This home right here, I'll show you. Well, let me show this real quick. We actually put in a brand new refrigerator. Okay, it's brand new. We got rid of the old one, put in the brand new one. The stove wasn't working. We could have repaired it, but instead we decided to put in a brand new stove. Carpet. The previous renters kind of wore out the carpet here, so we put in brand new carpet all throughout the upstairs and all the way down the stairs. And the best part of this, the best feature I would say, is the Tesla the Tesla backup battery right here in the garage. It's brand new. The plastic, you can see, is still on it. They hardly used it. And there's solar panels on the roof. Of course, I'm not going to go on the roof to show you the solar panels, but trust me, they're up there. Okay, so, and the best part of this solar system, it's actually owned. It is not leased. Most homes, I would think maybe 8 out of 10 or so, 7 out of 10, they're actually leased solar panels. So when you buy the home, you actually have to pick up the lease. This one here, it's owned. You plug it in and you start saving money. So with all these features, I thought I priced it right. But guess what I learned from all this? Buyers don't care. Buyers don't care what the features are, because what's happening is, back in the day when the market was hot and interest rates were really low, people were looking at what's the price? What's the price of the house? What's the price of the house? Because with so much competition, that's why when interest rates are low, home prices go up, and that they're looking more at the price. Today, with interest rates at around 7% and prices are lower, no one really cares about the price. They're saying, what's my mortgage payment going to be? What's my mortgage payment going to be on this home here? And you figure for a home, this 4 bedrooms, 3-bed home this size, with depending, of course, if it's a FHA loan, if it's a conventional loan, how much you decide to put down. But just say it's bare minimum. Say you're putting in, FHA 3% down, and depending on on your loan terms and in your finances, I can get right now this home probably going anywhere between $3,500 to maybe $4,500 a month in a mortgage payment, compared to if this was sold 2-3 years ago when interest rates were much lower, probably $2,300, $2,400, $2,500. That's why people now, buyers, that's why buyers are being a lot more picky, because they want to make sure, if I'm going to have a high mortgage rate, I want to make sure that I get the right house, and I get it. So how do you price a house to make sure that's priced right? if you're selling your home. And of course, if you're a buyer, pay attention to this too, because this is how it's going to show you how we come up with the value of the home. You're just like, why is that house so much? Or how do they come up with the value of that house? Here's why. Let me show you. Okay, so this is how we actually come up with the value of homes. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly, only because I want to show you exactly what I actually bring to the open house to show prospective buyers there on the spot. This is why the home is at this price. But to figure that out, this is where we go first. This is called Cloud CMA. It's one of the platforms we use. We all pay for it as agents. It's like we pay like $1,000 a year or so. But it's very useful. It's much, much more accurate than Zillow or Trulia and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to show you how this works really quickly, and then we'll go down to the other stuff I want to show you. So basically, when I'm looking to price a home, here's the home. I don't know if you can see it right there. I'll zoom in a little bit. I think there it is. It's $625 because that's my listing. It's actually pending at that price, only because the computer doesn't know what it's actually selling for. It doesn't know we accepted an offer at $635. If you hear a bunch of background noises, because I have contractors here working on my own home, and they started to do all the work now, even though they've been here for most of the morning doing the quiet stuff. Anyway, I'll see if I can talk over it. Better yet, I better pause it for a second. Hold on. They're actually painting, so they're probably going to be doing that for a while. I'll just talk over it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the listing right there. But here's what I want to show you really quickly. The neighborhood. So you can see where the homes are actually located, and what it actually is doing here is showing me where it's sold, what's pending. There's one over here pending, and then of course all the ones in gray. What that means is the computer is telling me these are not compatible to my home. Like I said, we're trying to compare apples with apples and oranges with oranges as best we can. So therefore, I have to stay within this neighborhood. If there's something way on the other side of town, for example, I don't know if there is. No, there's not. But there's one way over here. Even if it's within the right price range, I can't use it because I need what's here in this neighborhood. There was one you can see, but it's saying it's not compatible. But we can make this more specific. So as we go down, you're going to see here, it says we have a subject property, which is the listing that I have here, 904 Thomasville Court in Pittsburgh, California. It's telling me it's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, which is accurate, 1,985 square feet, and it was built in 2003. So again, back to the apple and oranges philosophy, I'm going to try to find homes just the same. Now, what I did was, to save time, I went through here and I already unclicked some of the ones that are not compatible, because the computer, AI, I think AI is pretty smart, but I think that I am smarter than AI. Okay, so I took out some of them, because I'll do some weird stuff, like I'll put stuff in there that's not even compatible, like a 3-bedroom, for example. And what happens is, let me show you, if you put in a 3-bedroom here, if I click this and add it, you can see on the ledger here on the right side, it changes the price. But I can't use it because I'm not comparing a 3-bedroom, I'm comparing a 4, you know? And if, by the way, if you also notice here, there's nothing active, okay? There are no active homes for sale at this time. But I saw one down here. Look at this. There's a couple down here. These are all active. But the reason why they're not highlighted or not checked is because look at what they are. 5 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. They're not even close to compatible to mine. And if you do this, if I click a 5-bedroom, let's click both of them. Now look what happened. If I click that one there, look at the price difference goes up by the not hundreds, but thousands of dollars just by clicking a couple of these. So that's why I have to be very accurate to make sure that I'm comparing my home with other homes similar to that. And once I get that part down, I start looking at the pictures. Now look at this one here. This one here actually, you could tell the agent simply shot it with his cell phone, put no effort in the pictures, which I think is a really bad thing to do. You're doing your client a huge disservice. I would never take, these type of pictures. I'll show you the ones I've taken of my listing in a minute. You got to stay professional, regardless of what the market is doing, what it's bringing, because it makes you look better, and of course, it makes your clients, listing look very much more competitive on the open market. But so. After all this, you can see here, DOM stands for days on market, and it was on the market for 47 days. The price at that time, they put it on the market for $629, and you can see it sold for $570. So it actually sold for less than they actually put on the market when they finally closed. Now, I'm not saying the pictures did all that. I do think it's a huge factor, because if there's no, aha factor, if there's no wow factor, what's the point of even looking at this house? It's just a bunch of, boring pictures of a house, and you want to bring them in there. So, for the most part, it's sold, but it actually sold, for less than they were looking for. And by the way, look at the date. It was put on the market on August of last month, August 16th, and then they updated on just yesterday. But so this just got sold. Now, keep in mind what happened here. Remember, interest rates started rising in April. So that's when things, I know, the price started coming down at that point. Remember, when interest rates rise, prices start to come down. So that was what's happening. I started saying, that's why when I was telling you in the beginning of my video, I missed the mark, because obviously, interest rates rose by the time I put it on the market. This one here sold for $665. That was my target price when I first got the listing. Well, actually, mine was $660. But look at this house. Beautiful. Professional photographs. The home was staged, or maybe it could be mixed, staged along with some of their original furniture as well. But nonetheless, made it look really nice. And this also was on the market for 46 days. And even though they put it on the market for $699, they got $665. So even with the pictures being great, the marketing being great, buyers are only going to pay whatever they feel the property's worth. So those are some that actually, that one closed there as well. This is pending at 6:30. Oh, here's, in fact, where's that? Let me look at this one here. Look, here's one that's active. The very first one active here at 640. This is pretty close to my price range. Check this out. Nothing changed here much. But where's the house? You look at right here. It's clear across, that's probably, I don't know, maybe a mile or two. That's way out there. How does the home look? What's the problem here? Hold on. There you go. It's just one picture. Okay, so actually, the DOM, days on the market, 2 days. That's probably why it's just one picture. They just put this on the market. And hopefully they'll get more pictures for $640. Is that a good price? I don't know. I mean, I probably, unless prices continue to come down. Now, just today, they lowered interest rates. So basically what's going to happen is if they lower the interest rates, this price might actually hold pretty well if more competition with buyers start to come on the market. We don't know. It is too premature to tell right now. But anyway, I show you all this to say this. This is how we get our price. So once looking at all this data, looking at the photographs, did we look at this one? Yeah, we saw that one. What else? What other pictures can we see here real quick? This one's pending. Also, oh, that's mine. Duh. Okay. Did we see this one? No, here's another one. So, again, this is pending. The pictures were just done with the cell phone. God, I hate seeing low quality pictures. It just makes us look so bad. I mean, I wish the agents just put a little time and effort to spend a couple $100 and take some decent pictures. Look at this picture. It's horrible. But nonetheless, after 11 days of the market, okay, they actually went pending. But when they go on the market? August. So you can see they didn't. If this was before April, they probably would have put it around the 650, 660 price range like I did. I thought with all the special features that, my listing had, it would justify that price. But as you can see, I was wrong. Okay, so anyway, that's how we come up with the price. So I should have stuck to my guns and priced it at around 625, 630 when I first got the listing. But instead, I overpriced it, and now it's been sitting for a while until we finally got an offer. But let me show you, though, what I brought to the open house. So I actually just printed it. I printed that page that I just showed you. Of course, there's no pictures or anything that the actual prospective buyers can see, but they can see the details. When I leave this here, or if they take this with them, they can see, well, here's how I worked it out. I point out that this house here on Vista Meadows was actually a 3.5 bedroom. It was bigger than our home, and therefore it was built in 2012. It was also built just the year 2024. That's why it sold for $1 million. Now, of course, you didn't see this on the previous video section I did, because this is when I actually printed it a few months back when I had the open house. This one here, I point out exactly it's 2.5 bath rather than 3, and then I point out here all the details of this one being a 3-bedroom. That's why it's not compatible. Here I also chose a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Is a little bit bigger than our home, built a little bit newer. It's pending at that price, and over here I showed, well, this would have worked out, but this got canceled, and this one would have worked out, but it doesn't count because this got canceled. So at the time, there's the listing I had it. You can see at 660. This was actually on the market. I didn't see this on the market anymore. I wonder what happened to this one. But anyway, it was for 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. And I said it was most compatible, but it had no special features. And they were asking $5,000 more than mine at the time. And of course, this one here is not compatible because it was only 2 bedrooms and it was built in it's only a 2 bath, and it was built in, got quiet, in 1948. And of course, this one here is not compatible either because of the fact that it's just 3 bedrooms and 2 bath. So this is, people say, well, how'd you come up with the price? I explain this to them while they're there and I show them everything, and then it gives them a better idea of what the price is. And keep in mind, you can never overpay for a home, because whenever you buy a home, you can get an appraisal done, especially if you have a loan. The lender is going to order their appraiser to come in and appraise the property, because no bank is going to loan you more money than the property is actually worth. So if you made an offer for $660, but then the appraiser comes in and says, hey man, this house is only worth $635. Now I have to go back to my seller and say, hey man, we tried to get $660, but the buyer's lender said that, the appraiser only said it's worth $635. What do you want to do? You want to come down to that price, or do you want to cancel it? Because the seller has the option of saying, no, I want full value. If they don't want to give me that, I'll just cancel. He could do that. Or the buyer can say, you know what, I really like the house. How about if I give you a little more for the house? Or what if I just give you the asking price out of my own pocket? In other words, now, aside from the loan, the buyer has to put money in his own pocket because, he wants the house, that bad. There was a time back about 3 or 4 years ago when the market was super hot. People were offering more than the house is worth. That's what they were doing. They were simply saying, okay, I got a mortgage, but I'm going to pay extra because I really want that house. Well, of course, that ship has now sailed, and that's not happening anymore. It's completely opposite. Homes are on the market now for months before they actually make an offer, and when they do, now you got the seller covering some closing costs. You got the seller giving back some credit to the buyer for closing costs or to bring down their interest rate. They're negotiating repairs like we did. We negotiated some repairs. So definitely in the real estate market, it's a whole new ballgame.
Really, his signature home run.
So that's how I came up with that $660 price. I thought I was in the ballpark.
Some type of contribution as Robles sends one to deep left center. Jacoby Jones drifting over, leaps. Oh, he got it! He got it! Are you kidding me? Oh!
For the fact that buyers don't care. They want to know, what's my mortgage payment? I shouldn't be focusing on the mortgage payment, not the actual price of the home. And that way I can put myself in the buyer's shoes, so to speak. So once again, if you're looking to buy a home, have your agent pull those comparables on the very last minute just before you write that offer, so you make sure not only you give them a fair price, but a realistic price where they're sure to accept the offer. And again, you can get creative as far as like we did here. We said this is the price we sold it for, and we'll actually do some of the repairs. They weren't very costly repairs, so we took care of that for the new buyer. That way you can actually move in the home with not one less thing to worry about. Or you can have your lender buy down the interest rate and maybe save some money there, or maybe ask for closing credits or whatever. Again, your agent can figure all that stuff out. So that's how you buy a home today when it comes to pricing and exactly what you're looking for. Be sure everything matches, apples with apples and oranges with oranges. So hopefully this is helpful for you. With that said, let me give you a quick tour of the home. I'm not gonna go walk through it again. I've done that so many times. Let me just do this. I'm gonna just show some great photographs. I actually took the photographs, so I think they're really good. Okay, on top of that, I even staged the home virtually because, we actually was empty at the time. We wanted to stage the whole home because I thought it would sell a lot faster. But what I did was, when you stage your home, it just gives a better perspective of what the home actually feels like or looks like. It might even give you an actual prospective buyer an idea of what they can even do as well. So check out these photographs. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm always putting up some sort of real estate video which I think will be valuable to you. And also, if you have any comments, feel free to comment below. Please do. I always look at all my comments. I answer all my comments. I screen and censor nothing. This is America. Freedom of speech I still believe in. Say whatever you want to say. I would appreciate that as well. And I look forward to seeing you next time.